You're listening to Copy Chief Radio. Get all the episodes and join the community at copychief.com.
Hey, what's up? It's Kev. Hey, we got a problem here. We got a problem in copywriting. It's funny, man. Thinking back, one of the most startling things I remember reading when I was starting out in copy, John Carlton, who is still my copywriting hero. I watched everything he was saying. And he wrote a blog post called, "Is There a Copy Crisis?" And in the post, he told a story of a good friend of his who got burned by a bad copywriter. I mean, this is going back to like 2005, 6. And I remember reading that. I was pretty new to the business, thinking, it just didn't add up in my head. I'm thinking, how in the world could John Carlton, anybody who knows John Carlton, end up with a bad copywriter? Doesn't just knowing John Carlton ensure that you will get a great copywriter? But that's not the case. I've talked to John about this a couple times since then, and he didn't vet the person. He didn't recommend the person. And so the person got burned and came to him later and told him about it. And it freaked me out. I just assumed there was a network of people that once you were sort of in that network, bad things didn't happen anymore. I know it's like so naive to think now that I believe that. Here I am almost 20 years later in business. And I really get it, how bad things happen to smart people. I tell you that to tell you, man, this industry, this copywriting industry, direct response copywriting, is on the surface, it's a cesspool right now. I mean, it's a cesspool. Because, I've been talking about this in my writing, and I'm hearing from more and more people, and they're telling me stories of things like I had no idea. Like, I know some of the people who are causing this problem because they sell copywriting as easy money, and they don't focus on being good. They just focus on closing deals, right? But it goes deeper than I realized. Somebody told me that, screw it, I'll say the name, Andrew Tate, who I don't know much about other than he seems like a bit of a disgusting human being. You may have a different experience, I don't know. But nothing about him that I find appealing, and more so with his recent allegations, just horrible. So he's got a community. One of my members in Copy Chief used to be in it. That's how he first discovered copywriting. He said there's probably 12 to 14,000 bro marketers in there. He said as young as 14, average age range like 14 to 18. 14 to 18. And he lists copywriting as one of the easiest ways to make $10K a month. Oh, it's simple. All you do is use ChatGPT to pump out some copy, and here's exactly what to say to the prospects, and they'll gladly pay you this money. Oh my God, right? And so thousands and thousands and thousands of completely unexperienced copywriters with no intention of ever becoming good copywriters have been doing cold outreach to every company they can imagine would want a copywriter and pitching them these outrageous offers. Well, I'll crush your control and you run it for free. And if it beats your control, you pay me 20 grand. And I mean, I know smart marketers and CEOs who have fallen for this. And, the copy never converts, and the person, it's just a waste of time. And it's, even if they don't get burned by actually paying somebody this money, imagine how they view copywriting and copywriters because of this. And I've had more and more business owners coming to me and saying, dude, like, what happened? I know you know good copywriters, and I know you only work with good copywriters, but why do they seem suddenly so hard to find? Well, it's simply a ratio factor, right? All anybody's hearing from are these super aggressive, I call them telemarketers with laptops. They're as aggressive as any like a timeshare salesperson, and they're making outrageous promises, and they cannot deliver good copy. And of course, the smart companies don't fall for this and want nothing to do with them, but it still leaves them wondering, like, where, because you know what I mean? The ratio of the good ones they meet and run into. And then, beyond that, it's just like, how do I set up the right deal? I want them in-house. I want to reward them for performance bonuses. They want to bring good copywriters into their company to do great work. They want to nurture that. They're well connected. They can help them get high-level chiefing if they don't have that on staff already. There's other scenarios where people come to me and they're like, hey, I'm building 4 pods, and each pod is going to have a marketing tech person, a designer, a media buyer, and a copywriter. And do you know 4 good copywriters who would like that scenario? And here's the crazy thing. I don't always have even 4 names to give them. And that's because my best people, the people that I work with day after day in my coaching programs, are booked. They're booked. They have either more clients than they could serve, or they have one main client that they're happily serving, growing with their team, moving into higher positions. Just, they're very happy. They're not going anywhere. And so I'm on one hand, like, just sort of disgusted and befuddled that it's gotten this far. And I just wish I could institute a law that people cannot talk about copywriting as biz op. I mean, what are we doing? Who's falling for this? But think about it, man. These business owners, especially if they don't know copy, like a lot of these business owners they think content is copy. They don't understand the difference between sales copy and so how do they know? And so they're getting burned, and it's bumming me out. But look, I'm an optimist, and I don't like dwelling on negatives, and I cannot control what other people do or don't do or fall for. All I can do is what I've been doing for 9 years here with Copy Chief, and that is getting to know good copywriters who want to be in a situation where they're supported and there's opportunity and they get to see their performance data. Because, one of the big hangups with freelance copywriters is people want to see results and they never get results from the clients in these one-offs, So here's what I'm doing about it. I actually have a big vision for can't change the whole industry, but I can make sure that I'm developing enough good copywriters to fill the jobs that people are currently coming to me for. I'll get to that in later episodes. What I'm doing immediately is I'm holding a workshop. It's called The Goods, because the goods is what people look for. Do they have the goods? Can they write? Do they have ideas? Are they good strategists? Are they good creative collaborators? Do they thrive on performance data and always looking to improve results? The goods. We know what the goods are. When you see it, you know it. It's not complicated, but again, increasingly hard to find in all the noise. So I am holding a 6-week workshop called The Goods, and I'm going to take 25 copywriters through this program, and I'm going to basically walk them through a scenario where they would be up for an opportunity like this. What kind of opportunity? Companies in health and beauty, business consulting, marketing strategists, personal development, finance, like big players, people who do 100,000 plus every month in ad spend. Because I've instructed many of these companies on how to vet a copywriter. We're going to set up, here's what the application should look like to make sure they're detail oriented. Then you're going to pay them to do a copy test, and you'll learn so much just from that. Then you're going to run that copy and see how it does. And if you like them and you're getting along and you know everybody's feeling great about it, then you work with them for 90 days under a contract, a 90-day retainer. And by the end of that 90 days, you will know if that's your person or not. And they will know if they like working with you and see the upside. It's really pretty simple, but it takes time. And again, the problem is they don't know how to even begin that process of inviting people, say, even into the test or on a call that they feel good about, because everybody's talking the same game. So My goal with this 6-week program, again, 25 people, I'm going to work with them, bring them through this scenario. I'm going to train them, prep them, vet them so that they can show up confidently to a scenario like this with their goods on display and be a very, very good candidate for an opportunity like that. But they have to want that. They have to see the potential in that. And they have to be willing to do some work for 6 weeks with me to really embrace the opportunity. They have to know how to show up on interviews, look sane on Zoom, what everybody figures out how to do when they've been doing this a while. And then my primary goal is to take the best, if not all of that group, and introduce them to the clients who have been asking me for good copywriters. I never promise those things when I do anything like this because I don't know if they're going to choose you. I just know that they're going to be impressed with you. And so I never make any promises of I am going to land you a job. Just that would be dishonest. But I do promise this. Anybody who comes through this workshop and spends 6 weeks with me, I've got the whole curriculum laid out. Get this, we're going to, again, take them through the process. They're going to do a writing test. And I have Patrick Beauvais, who's one of the top level copy chiefs in the whole industry. He's been with Stansberry for years now. He, mentored under Mike Palmer. He's run chief teams of 20 copywriters for years and years and years. He is going to play the role of hiring chief and look at your sample and say, okay, based on this, I would be skeptical. Based on this, I would be in love. Right. And so everybody, all 25 get to see, okay, my instinct was wrong on that. Do this, don't do that. That's, huge opportunity to remove the insecurity and the fog of how to show up for an opportunity like this. And so I'm telling you about it because if you are a fit for this, or if you know somebody who's a fit for this, again, I'm only choosing 25 people, but I want to get as many applicants as I can into this. There's no sales page. I'm not sharing any details about how I work with companies or the names of those companies on the public. I can't do that because they would get flooded by the D-bags. But I can tell you, these are companies you would know. These are companies that are respected. These are companies who love their customers. They have integrity. They're not in niches like romance and dating and any of that. It's good work with good people. And so it starts March 6th is the first class, and we're going for 6 weeks. And then dig this. On April 10th, I'm doing a live virtual summit where I'm going to take probably about the 5 best of these 25 and showcase them for clients during the summit. So not only introducing them, putting them together in the room and letting them showcase their goods. I'm going to prep them on how to show up for an interview like that, how to get your nerves in check, how to be good on camera, how to, these things are important. Those are the things, the X factors. I'm assuming you do good work. I'm assuming you're super dedicated to this craft. I'm assuming you have some experience under your belt. If you're a fit for this, and of course, I'll be vetting these things. I'm not inviting anybody into this who doesn't have those things. But then the next part, the X factor, is you knowing how to show up, and you got to sell your stuff. You got to present it well. You got to present yourself well. And, it's just another skill you have to grow into if you want to do well as a copywriter. I get that we're writers and we're quirky and we're not always as put together as some other people. It's just not about becoming some slick, polished guru type. It's about being yourself, but putting your best self forward for people who would love to work with you. So it's called The Goods. And the only way to get the application is to be on my email list. Go to copychief.com/insider and make sure you sign up for all emails, not just Sunday. And I will be sending out more details in the application. And I'll be reading through every application. I'll be talking to every person that I think is a fit directly. And the only way anybody gets invited in is if I've spoken with them, they understand the value, and they are excited, and I think they can thrive through the program. So there you go. That's what I'm up to. I'll be sharing more about what we learn in this program. I work with copywriters every day, and so I know what to expect, but this is the first time I've ever run an intensive of this kind over 6 weeks to take people to that next level. So more to share on that as it unfolds. And again, if you're a fit or you know someone who's a fit, get on my list. Or you can even write to me directly, kevin@copychief.com, and say, hey, I heard you talk about this on Copy Chief Radio, and I want the application. All right? All right. If this is reaching you and you're excited, then so am I. Let's go make some noise. See you in the next one. Hey, don't forget your goodies. Head over to copychief.com/copychiefradio to get some great free stuff to help you put the things you hear on the show into action for your business. copychief.com/CCR.